Hi all, welcome to another session on Azure for data engineers. In this infrastructure setup session, I'll be focusing on Azure Key Vault. So let's begin. What is Azure Key Vault? It is a cloud service for securely storing and accessing, first of all, secrets. So the name itself suggests that key vault. It's something for securely storing something. So let's see what kind of objects we can store in a key vault. First is secrets. So any kind of secrets. This could be passwords, connection strings, API keys. So all these kind of secret values we can securely store inside an Azure Key Vault. Next is keys, encryption keys for data encryption. This is another kind of object that we can store in a key vault, and certificates. So as a data engineer, we will be mostly working with secrets and maybe keys as well. So why it matters for data engineers? So instead of hard coding the credentials in Azure Data Factory or Databricks or whatever it is, you can store them in Key Vault and securely access it. And you can manage the permissions of who can access this Key Vault using Azure role-based access control in a better way. Then it provides a centralized secret management for dev, QA, UAT prod environment. So you can set up a separate key vault for each environment and store the secrets corresponding to that environment in that key vault. And then in the CI/CD or DevOps pipeline, you can point to the correct key vault and get the corresponding secret values. So it provides well integrated governance using Azure role-based access control and managed identity, and it provides a centralized place to store your secrets and access them or use them in a secure way. So let's dive into Azure portal and see Azure Key Vault in action. Okay, let's see how to create a key vault. I'm in the Azure portal, so you can look for Key Vault here if it is available, or you can just search for it. Key Vault. There we go. As of now, I don't have any Key Vault, so I'll click on Create button here or here. Then we need to choose the resource group. First, I'm going to create a Key Vault for dev, and then I'm going to name it algorithm data analytics and insights Key Vault dev. And region, I'm gonna choose Central India. And pricing, I'll keep the standard tier. Okay, let me just create a screenshot of it as well. Now we will keep the defaults here. You can read the description here for more details about this is like an additional layer of protection if you accidentally delete any secrets, whether you want to have the ability to recover it during a retention period, something like that. So for now, I'm just keeping the defaults. And next we have the access configuration. Again, we have a couple of options here how we can access the vault. So we can see here that Azure role-based access control is the recommended setting. So let's keep that. In the past, we used to have vault access policy based one. So the access policy determines whether a user or a security principal can perform different operations. But now it is based on RBAC, role-based access control. So let's keep that default. And again, for now, for this demo key vault, I'll allow public access, but when it goes to higher environments like production environment, you should allow it to selected networks. When you're working for an actual company, only selected network, you can choose your VPN, and only from that you can allow access to your key vault, because you store your secrets in this key vault, so you don't want it to be accessed from anywhere. But for now, I'll just keep it simple and allow public access. So usually when you're setting up a platform from scratch, in the beginning you will have this setting so that you won't have much hiccups when you are setting up the platform. Once everything is ready, once VPN, all the setup are ready, and once the things are getting to mature, then before we go live, we will turn off this setting, and you can make more changes to this setting later as well. So you can turn off the public access and you can allow only from selected networks. You can also set up private endpoint and all. Okay, so tags, for now I'm not setting any tags. Again, when you're doing it for an actual company, you will definitely need to add tags. Some tags will be mandatory for tracking cost and everything. So I have everything ready here, just waiting for the validation to complete so that I can finish it. Okay, the validation is complete. So earlier these buttons were disabled, so it will take a few seconds or a minute for the validation to complete, and then you can click on the create button. So it has started the deployment. Once it is ready, you can see that your deployment is complete. So again, keep note that we have only we have selected the right resource group. This key vault is for the dev environment, so I have selected the dev resource group, and the right, I have only one subscription. If you have more than one subscription, make sure that you select the right subscription. And yeah, okay, so it's almost ready. Okay, it looks ready. So let's, okay, it's still coming up. Let's give it a few more seconds. Okay, see that it's complete. Now I can click on the go to resource. Okay, so here you can see under objects, you can see keys, secrets, and certificates. These are the three kind of objects we can create under Azure Key Vault. Again, I want to repeat it one more time. When you join an organization as a junior or mid-level engineer, usually the infrastructure team or a senior engineer will be setting up the key vault. You don't have to do these steps. I just wanted to demonstrate how it is done. You will come here and you will start creating secrets, or you will view secrets, or you will reference this key vault so that you can add it. You can reference it from your data factory. So you don't have to worry about the um, setting up of creating the resource itself when you are joining as a beginner. Now, let me show you how to create some secrets. So I'm choosing under objects, secrets, and then click on generate or import, and then I'm gonna give it a name. So for now, I'm gonna give it the name SQL Server username, and I can put the secret value here. Let me copy it and put it here. Okay. And I don't want to set an activation date. If you want to it to be active only in the future, you can set up an activation date and do that. You can also expire, but for now I'm just I want it to be active immediately, so I just choose enabled, and then you can click on create. So it's showing that an error happened. Let me have a look. Okay, so RBAC, the permission needs to be sorted as well. So not everyone can access the secrets, and also not everyone can create and view the secrets. So what we can do is we can go to the IAM tag and see role assignments. So I can see that data engineering interns group has a reader permission, and then algorithm info solutions, it has owner permission. So what I need to do is I need to add permissions. So you can click on add role assignment, and then there are a couple of roles. So reader role view all resources but does not allow you to make any changes. Now let's see for role specific to Key Vault. So there is a Key Vault administrator. Perform all data operations, including certificates, keys, and secrets. Cannot manage Key Vault resources or manage role assignments. Only work for Key Vaults that use Azure role-based access control model. Then there is Key Vault contributor, let you manage Key Vaults but not access to them. So there are different roles related to Key Vault. So this one is kind of the super level role. So I'm gonna click on select this and click on next. And then we can choose a user or group or a service principal, and then you can click select members, or if you want to assign it to a managed identity, you can do that as well. So for now I'm gonna choose user or group and then select members, and I'm going to add the data engineering interns group and select. Now I'm going to click next and review plus assign. Let's wait for it to be assigned. Okay, I can see that it's assigned. So now if I go to role assignments, I can see that reader, data engineering interns, Key Vault administrator also. This group has Key Vault administrator role as well. And I can also go to check access. So when you log in and when you access this Key Vault, you can go to this check access tab, and under view my access you can see what are the access you have. So I have the owner access. You should be able to see reader and Key Vault administrator because you are part of the data engineering intern group. For simplicity, I have added myself as user of that intern group. So through that group, now when I check, I can see that I do have the Key Vault administrator role as well. Now let me go back to under objects, secrets. Let me try to create the secret again. So I'm going to click on create SQL server username, and the secret value is this one. I'm gonna keep everything the default, and let me click on the create button. Okay, so again I'm getting an error. Sometimes even after you add permissions, it may take a little bit of time to uh, for the permission to kick in. So sometimes you may have to log out and log in again. So let me pause for a minute. Let me log out and log in again so that the permissions and the new role assignments will kick in. Okay, so I have logged back in again. Now let me try to create a secret again. SQL Server username, and the username is, okay, let me create it. Okay, it is successful. So now if you go to secrets, you can see the secret name, and if you click on the secret name, let's wait for it to load. Let me also show you how you can access the secret value. So you can see that the current version, there is only one version and it's enabled. If you want to see the secret value, you can click on it, and you can click on show secret value. It will show you the value and you can copy it. So let me go back again. And if you want to uh, update the value, then you can click on new version and then put the new value. So for now, I'm just gonna put on new value and I'm gonna create it. Now, if you come here, let me get from here. So go to secrets and choose your secret, and you can see two versions are there. So if you go here and see, I can see the original value. If I go and click here and click on show secret, I can see the new value. Now I want to set it back to the actual value, so I'm going to create one more version and put the actual value that I need, and I'm just going to create. So in this way, every time you make changes, that history is tracked as well, and anytime you can go back to a previous value and access that as well. Okay, so that's everything about creating secrets. Now, one more thing we need to do is, in order for Azure Data Factory to access this key vault, we need to grant that permissions. We need to sort out that permission. So let's see how to do that. For that, first we need to go to your Data Factory. So I'm going to choose Data Factories. And let me pick up my dev data factory, and then don't click on launch studio. What you need to do is uh, we need to find the uh, ID for this. Let me see where I can find it. Manage identity setting IAM. Let me just see where I can find it. Properties, managed identities. Okay. So this is the object ID or the principal ID. So we will need this information. So that's why I came here. So I'm just going to copy this value. Now let me go back to the key vault and then go back to access control. And here again add role assignment. Now I don't want to give the admin user, just key vault user. Something like that will be sufficient. So key vault secrets user. So let's see, read secret contents only works for key vaults that use the Azure role-based access control permission model. So that's the permission model we have used. So Azure Data Factory only need the ability to read the secret content. So this is exactly the permission we need to give for the Azure Data Factory. So we select this one, this particular role, and then under this, instead of, we are not giving it to a user or a group, we are giving it to an Azure service. So you click managed identity and then click on select member, and yeah, data factory is also here. You don't have to actually copy the name, you can choose this one. Okay, so I have selected the data factory. Make sure that the name is correct. I'll go to dev data factory. Now can click on review plus assign. Okay, now if you go to role assignments, you can see that I am the owner. Then reader permission is assigned to this group. So every user under this group will have reader permission. Everyone under this group will have Key Vault administrator permission. Key Vault user permission is assigned to managed identity. Let me see whether I can get more information about it. Okay, it's just giving me that Key Vault name. Okay. So this vault URI we will need. So we will do a test. So we will try to access the secret. For now, I'll just print it so that I want to demonstrate to you that I'm able to access this secret from the Key Vault from Azure Data Factory pipeline, so that we can use this in our actual pipelines. So before that, let me come back here, and this is my data factory. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is my Algorithm DIA ADF dev. If you go to Azure role assignments, you can see that Key Vault secret user role is assigned to this data factory. Okay, let me go to the overview tab so that I can launch the Azure Data Factory Studio and create a sample pipeline where I'll try to access the Key Vault secret value, so that we can make sure that the connection works fine. So go to other tab under pipelines. I'm going to create a new pipeline. I'm going to name it uh, sample Key Vault access, something like that. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to create a web activity. So this Key Vault you can actually access using the URI. So when you go to the Key Vault here, the Key Vault, you can see that Vault URI. So using this URI, you can use a web activity to query the secrets as well. So let's see. That's the method I'm going to use for verifying that I'm able to access this Key Vault from my Azure Data Factory. In your actual pipelines, you will have to create link service that you can check in the Azure Data Factory sessions, how we can utilize the link service and then use the link service to access the secrets. But for now, this session is entirely dedicated only for Key Vault. So let's create a web activity, and let's check the parameters here so that you will be able to access the Key Vault. So let's name this activity as get secret, and I want this to be activated, and then under the settings you can see that two mandatory settings are there. First, you need to provide URL. So the web activity will be able to connect to this URL using the method we specify here. For the method, I'm going to choose get. So to connect to the URL, we need the URL name. So the first part of the URL, you can go to the Key Vault and the Vault URI. You can copy this and paste it here. And then we don't just want to connect to the Key Vault, we want to connect to a specific secret and get its value. So for that, you need to add secrets, and then you need to specify the name of the secret. You can go to new tab, or you can click here as well. So if you go to the secrets, this is the secret name. So under secrets, this is the path, SQL-server username. So under secrets, SQL server username. SQL Server username. And then you need to specify one more parameter in order to, so this Key Vault is exposed as an API, so you need to specify a parameter, API version. You can check the Azure documentation or internet for getting the exact syntax. So this is how we specify. So you get the URI of the Key Vault, then you mention that you need to go to under secrets section and then specify the name of the secret, and then you need to specify the API version, checking the documentation. Now the method is going to be get, and the authentication is going to be a system assigned managed identity. And then for the resource, again, you just need to type https colon slash slash vault.azure.net. So we're using the system assigned managed identity. So this is the generic way to access the key vault. So just use this value for all the time. Okay, so I have provided all the information needed. Let me quickly run this, debug this pipeline to see whether it's working. So you can see the results here. It's currently in progress, and I can see that the input is this URL and the method I have provided. And let's see whether it's able to make that connection and get that value for me. A few more seconds. Okay, it is successful. Let me check now. That is successful. I can see both input and output. Let me click on the output. Here I can see the value returned is algorithm admin. This is the secret value stored here. If you check here, it will always pick the latest version. And if you click on show secret value, AL admin, this is the secret value. Okay, so now let me give you some bonus content here. So in one of the use cases where I have worked, we need to get secret value. This is like the encryption key, encryption secret, those kind of parameters we need to get from key vault, and then we need to pass this value into a stored procedure in Snowflake. So for that, first I need to store this value in a variable so that I can pass this variable value to the stored procedure. So let me just show you a few more things in this video itself, how to get the value returned from this API call and store it in a variable. So for storing it into a variable, you can use the set variable activity. And if you go to the settings, you need to give it a name for this variable, key vault secret value, and the type of this variable is going to be a string, and I'll confirm it, and then the value of this variable is going to be a dynamic content, so based on whatever value is returned by this activity. So in order to get the value from another activity, okay, I need to make a connection. So if you try to get like at activity, if it is not listing here, you're missing the connection. So when this particular activity is successful, so this is on success, I want to set the variable. So now that I have established the connection, I'll go here to its settings, and now let me add the dynamic content at activity. Yeah, now I can see that get secret activity is coming up here. And then if I click on dot, so from this activity output, I want the value. So if you remember that debug run, you were able to see the value under the JSON under the key name called value. So that's why I'm using that. Okay, so if you go here, so the output of this activity has a JSON, and it has so many information here. The information that we are looking for is under the key name called value. So that is why in the set variable activity, I'm using uh, output of this get secret activity, and from that output, that's a big JSON value. I don't want the entire JSON. From that JSON, I only need the value. Okay, now let me debug again. Let me pause for a second so that the run will complete. Okay, the run is complete now. Let me look at the debug output. So first it executed the get secret activity, and I can see that the output has a big JSON including the value. uh, Now set variable, the input to that was the value from the previous activity. The variable name is the name we have provided. Okay, so in this way we have successfully set the variable. Now, again, if you want to enforce a bit more additional security feature, um, we don't want this variable value to be exposed to everyone. So anybody could have access to this Azure Data Factory pipeline and the ability to look at the log, and in this log we are exposing the actual value. So this is just a username, not a very critical value, but if it is an encryption decryption key for that is used for encrypting PII data, something like that. So we don't want such information to be exposed in the logs. So what we can do is, for this activity, if you go to the general section, there is an additional setting called secure input, secure output. So if you check, the input from the activity will not be captured in logging. So input is fine. We are not passing any critical information, but the output of this activity, we don't want that to be exposed in the log. So when you're doing the debugging, it's okay, but when it goes to production, you don't want this to be exposed in log. So I'm gonna check this one. Same way for set variable activity also, I'm gonna, both the input and output was exposing the value of the secret. So I'm gonna secure both the input and output. Now let me run the pipeline again. And I'm going to pause again for this activity to finish, and I'll come back again. Okay, now that my pipeline is uh, successful, let me look at the logs. So get secret, I didn't uh, secure the input, so I can see the content. The entire content is exposed here, but when I click the output, I can see that earlier we were able to see big JSON, but now it says everything is masked because it's a secure output. Similarly, if you go to set variable, again everything is masked. So this is an important feature you should be aware of if you want to prevent the input output logs from exposing your secret values. Okay, so that's everything about this session. So in this session, we have learned about what is Azure Key Vault and how to set up an Azure Key Vault, how to store the secrets, and what permissions are needed in order for you to be able to create and view the secrets, and also how you can access the Key Vault from Azure Data Factory and what permissions are needed for that. You can check out the Azure Data Factory sessions with the Key Vault in the title to see more about how to create a linked service to Azure Key Vault and store your secrets and access them in your Azure Data Factory pipeline. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos on Azure.